Mama's house to Penthouse. Yeah.
Once again.
Another day, another dollar.
And look, I gotta send a special shout out already, cause you know in the building today.
Oh yeah, my boy, you know what I'm saying?
John over there.
Man,
he probably ain't gonna get up and walk in the camera real quick. But look, the John is the money man. We got him in the studio today. It's gonna actually be important to the topic we talking about today.
Oh yeah. So before we even get started with the topic, I see you got a new fit on. You know
see this?
saying?
I'm actually trying shorts out.
Yeah, I see you.
This is the first time ever, right?
You know
I've
what I'm
been
saying?
going places, people like, I like your shorts. I'm like, that's really all it takes to get a man to wear different clothing.
Like
just about two girls. Yeah, one really. You walk somewhere, I like that shirt on you. And all of a sudden, he got that shirt on every day.
Let it be bad enough. You gonna repeat the whole unit.
Go throw his whole closet out that day.
Fuck it. I'm getting shorts.
Speaking of that, I've been watching Cowboys Ranch.
Oh, have you?
I have. The last two videos I watched, let me tell you, the pregnancy scare.
The story I'm gonna tell today, right, is the story of, and I ain't even told you this yet, so that's what I'm saying. This is the first time that I got a pregnancy scare. Oh, you saw that one?
I was dying, laughing, and then the one where you got jumped.
Which is cool, because it's like, shit, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, I got caught swimming in that swamp. That's what we used to call it back on the West.
Was it on some, you were just in the wrong spot, bro?
Bro, let me tell you. Oh, yeah. So basically, for context, for those of you who are listening on
not recently.
You know what I'm saying? No, not recently. So these are story times on YouTube. So, I've been trying to tell people, we've been building up a lot of stuff, like as far as like with the business. So I didn't get a chance to, like, a whole portion of my life was just undocumented. You know what I'm saying? So it was just to the point to where it was like, shit, I was just living in it. It's just like, shit, what we was talking about the other day, it's like, man, we just forgot to record a lot of stuff. So now I'm forced to go back and just tell story times about all of this shit. So that's what he's talking about. Like, yo, I told a story about how I got jumped on YouTube when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? This is some kid shit back in the hood. And then, my first pregnancy.
Yeah, and you said some fly shit to him.
Yeah, I did. You know, you a kid, man. You in the hood. You don't know what you're talking about. You just talking about
what time it is. Man, I don't know.
You don't fucking know what time it is. I was already hot. That's what I was telling them. I was hot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Go check out my YouTube, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Cowboys Ranch. You're going to love that content over there. There's some premium content over there. And it's showing the life, right?
Yeah.
Pool parties on there. It's funny skits.
Yeah.
I actually even made some cameos on there.
Yeah. You showed up a few times on that ranch. You know
Especially, my favorite ones is the ad. The one about the ad. Like, that's the shit.
Don't visit this website.
Yeah. Oh, we should, like, maybe 20 seconds. Think 20. Pow!
Me time. Get this shit out.
You didn't click on my ad.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. You need to get this product. I know you're on your phone right now in your little tent, but you need to click on this ad and stop playing with this.
Man, what the fuck? Watch me some Tiger King.
So you gonna keep acting like you don't see my goddamn ad, huh?
What the fuck?
Hey, you gonna buy this product. Matter of fact, buy this product or I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face.
Hell no, man. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, you ain't think I was gonna come to them motherfucking dreams. I'm on your ass. You gonna buy this product today. There we go. Yeah. So, go check that out. That's Cowboys Ranch. You're gonna want to see that. And we got a lot of other content coming back this week. I'm actually about to start recording the entrepreneurship videos and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be bringing some special guests in to help people learn more about this whole entrepreneurship game.
And the Action Takers podcast. Too, with the
also, I'm interviewing people. I'm gonna be doing them over the phone and in person.
Yeah.
So we just decided that would be something cool to do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
For if you can't tell yet, the content train has began. You know what I'm saying? So you need to make sure that you hop on it. If you're watching this video right now, I appreciate you for taking the time out to, you know what I'm saying, get with your boys. Because I hope you know that we ain't even got started yet. It's about to be a hell of a lot of good content before you. So all you need to do is make sure that you sit back, stay strapped, stay relaxed, more importantly, you know what I'm saying? And let's get on with the train.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How you doing during the pandemic?
Pandemic.
And it ain't no gimmick.
I like to call it a bandemic.
A bandemic. John in the building. Shout out to John. Cutting clarity. You know what time it is.
Cutting clarity is in the building. But look, this is what I'm saying. The pandemic, the pandemic has been nothing but a blessing in disguise. And all jokes aside, like, hell yeah. Like, don't even think that the pandemic didn't affect me or anybody that you look up to in any form of fashion.
It definitely devastated a lot of people and families, right?
Yes, sir. And if it didn't hit you financially, it hit you to the point to where you probably like.
I mean, your life was changed.
Yeah, your life was changed. Like maybe you got a true opportunity to see like how the people around you really think. You get where I'm going? Like a lot of people, you can dig into their brain. You can see like, okay, so this is how you would act in a crisis. Like, fuck, bro.
Whole morals just went out the window.
Like, a lot of people they showed their true colors in this pandemic, which was why I said, honestly, it has been nothing but a blessing in disguise. Like, it just peeled back the curtains on everything that we all needed to see. It peeled back the curtains on all of the businesses that wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
That wasn't legit.
Yeah, like you're doing whatever, it peeled back the curtains on all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of them things where it was like, it peeled back the curtains on friends who wasn't legit. It pulled back the curtains on family members who, you know what I'm saying, just had certain beliefs and you never really got a chance to talk to them about them, but the pandemic exposed, it was like the pandemic, if you're watching this magically, if you're listening to this 2,000 years from now, right?
Damn, that's a long time.
That's a long time, maybe 200. 2,000
Shit, if this shit around 2,000 years from now.
I believe so. I don't know. Maybe the internet will blow up one day.
The world will be so different by then. Who knows?
I don't know. Look, if
you're consuming some old ass content if you're watching this right now.
That's what I'm saying. Just know that the pandemic was honestly nothing but a blessing in disguise. It still is. It's still going on, but I just process it like that, man, and let's just keep going. What the pandemic?
I'm telling you why I asked you about this pandemic, right? Because, like I said, it has affected all of us. If it hasn't affected you financially, like you said, emotionally, you know, you have family members affected. A lot of people lost their lives. Just being honest with you. Around this whole situation, we're not gonna get into any conspiracy stuff on this show. That's not weird.
Why not?
Maybe later, right? Okay. But because it's too many of them. It's just so many of them, right?
Yeah.
It's the cell tower stuff. It's the deep state. It's crazy stuff, whatever.
Which one you believe in? Dun, dun, dun.
Next time on my. But the reason I asked today, right, is because we got a question, and one of the questions today has to do with the pandemic, right? This affected a lot of people, and I thought we should use this time to talk about it. So, you ready for this?
This is Mama's House Mail, right?
This is Mama's House Mail. You already know what time it is. Yeah. Okay, so look, this is Keisha from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Hey, Keisha.
Keisha, how you doing?
How you doing, Keisha? So Keisha asked, okay, so the pandemic has affected us disproportionately, and a lot of people on the East Coast have been really affected. Let me ask y'all something. As entrepreneurs, how are y'all adapting to the pandemic, and what are some of the things that we can think about and do in order to make it through this pandemic? Thank you, guys. Can't wait to hear your answer.
Well, Keisha, like I told everybody at the beginning of this episode, it is now time for you and everybody else listening, watching, whatever you're doing, to strap your seatbelts and let's get the motherfucking train on the roll.
Right? Pandemic. You know, one of the big things I noticed as far as all this pandemic is one of those things that's oldest time in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And that is, you're going to have to adapt.
Yeah. Period.
Now, I don't want you to think that we're stopping there. Like, cut the episode off.
Yeah, all right. That's it?
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things. And I think a lot of people, what they discovered during this time was that there's holes in their business that they can actually plug up and make their business better. Because a lot of people, I'll give you a prime example, gym owners, right? We had a friend of ours. He actually was on the first episode of Cowboys Ranch doing jig aerobics.
Yeah, I was just talking to Tay. He gonna pull up on me like, I think tomorrow. Yeah. We're gonna create some content.
Great content creator. You should check him out, Ayo Tay. And the thing is, he was doing jig aerobics, which is like getting lit while you getting fit.
Yep.
Right?
Period.
And the thing is, they needed a gym to do that at first. But what they did was they figured out a way to put it all online and start creating that jig aerobics online and getting people to pay a subscription to subscribe to the jig aerobics.
Yeah.
Now, why is this important? Because now when the gyms open back up, not only do they have that one stream of income, which is the gym they already had beforehand, but now they got this whole new stream of income.
That wasn't even a thing prior to the pandemic.
Exactly. So when we talk about it being a blessing in disguise, we're not talking about none of the other stuff that happened that's horrible. We're talking about that from an entrepreneurial perspective or a business perspective, you have found opportunities in order to use this pandemic in order to do more.
Exactly.
I say even too, with all the financial stuff that's been given out, businesses have been getting huge, stupid ass loans, right?
Yep.
During the pandemic.
Yep.
And then of course, during this pandemic also, if you wanted to get some shit right with your credit,
yeah, you can definitely do that too. You know what I'm saying? He
over there.
It's all available.
I'm gonna keep pointing back there because he back there.
Yeah,
he's gonna be one of those mysterious figures where you like, I want to know what John looks like.
You can't.
We gotta keep John in the back until he ready to go, because he might come on here, say some shit on this podcast, have everybody quitting their job.
We need to keep you out of stages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Ease you out of there. You know what I'm saying? But look,
somebody lit right now. I want to hear what he got to say.
I want to hear
in due time.
In due time, young grasshopper.
Yeah.
But look, check this out though. Like, as far as because what you just said, as far as with the pandemic and everything, like a blessing in disguise, helping entrepreneurs get to the next level. Like that's more so like what I see too. Like I get a like anybody who has really been in the position to, you know what I'm saying, further their business or just get to the point to where, you know, like the business is doing fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the whole purpose of the. You good?
Yeah, no,
that was the whole purpose to me of like the quarantine. You get what I'm saying? That was like an opportunity for all of us to really get all of our shit together, hound it in, and just start driving in. Just start driving, because it gave everybody an equal playing field to like restart. You know what I'm saying? And of course, in some states, if you're watching this to date, you're still in quarantine, but at the same time, it's just just a blessing.
Yeah, I think a big thing,
bro.
I think a big thing I want, like we was talking about content when this first started. So we talked about Cowboys Ranch. So 3 or 4 shows appeared. Like Mama's House of Penthouse was something we've been doing for a while, right? We just brought this back. But Cowboys Ranch appeared. Yep. And Action Takers Podcast appeared, right? And those were 2 things that came out of the pandemic because I wanted to interview people and I wanted to get more people aware of these ideas about entrepreneurship from other people's perspective. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I realized, I'm like, how am I do this shit during the pandemic? I can't pull up on people, I have people pull up on me. Yeah. So instead of letting the thing that's happening stop you, I found a way to still do the thing I wanted to do.
Exactly.
So this is a concept I want to talk about, right? And it's the concept of I will. The word I will, right? And I thought about this a long time ago. Why don't people usually just declare what they're going to do? Like, I'm going to do this today, or I'm going to make this happen. What do you think that is?
I think it's a lack of self-confidence.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew you was going to
get it. Because we was in the meeting today. We was helping a friend of ours build an app, and he was talking about, because this is something I used to struggle with, you know what I'm saying? And now I've come to hold with it because I'm super confident about it, you know what I'm saying? But like, he said, he asked us, he was like, yo, do you think when the app does start to blowing up, because it was an amazing app idea, he said, do you think when the app does start to blow up, like, I should like hire somebody like to go do meetings and stuff like this for me? Because like, look at me, bro, like, I don't think people will take me serious. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
You're the main reason. That's gonna be the reason why people do business with you. And he's like, and I made it seem like he was talking down on himself, but he was basically, I believe it was a situation.
Just ask for insight.
Yeah, it was just like a situation like that. And I was basically saying, like you told him, it's like, yo, people are like, that's not what this is about. It's not, we're living in different times now. It's like, yo, of course the reality is that shit does still go on. People still do judge you by the color of your skin, but don't let that be the reason why you don't go see.
Of course,
you know
of course it happens, but I say at the same time, it's one of those situations where there's also people who don't.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's also people who just,
equal amount
they
of
only
people.
Understand one thing. Here, right?
Yeah.
I see that color, they understand that. And I feel like a big thing is just your perception and your persona a lot of times nowadays is why people come to you, right?
Exactly.
Like, why do you go to a rapper to ask him about style? It's not because you see him in a suit.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, he knows what's hip. I'm going to consult him about how to touch this demographic.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's a big thing. And going back to the self-confidence, the reason I said I wrote a post a long time ago, right? And I said what I thought the word I will meant. Now, one of my favorite books of all time is An Iron Will by Horizon Sweat Martin. It's my favorite book of all time. I've read maybe thousands of books at this point.
Yeah.
But still, this one never has been defeated in my mind. And it's not a book like teaching you any tips or strategies, just talking about the type of personality that the most successful people in history were, like, you know, like the Abraham Lincolns, your Napoleons, like all these top level people. And it's an old book, so it doesn't have any modern people in there. But the thing is, they said, I will. They said it's such a strong phrase because it speaks of you determination.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to do this shit. Like,
no
what's
matter
the
what.
play?
And I realize a lot of times when I'm sitting in meetings with people, we'll sit there and we'll go back and forth with them, and they're like, okay, yeah. They're trying to almost. They're not setting a plan and then saying, I'm gonna do whatever to figure it out.
Yeah.
They're trying to set the plan based on what might go wrong.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's like, it's like you're planning for the worst at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I go, hey, look, we gonna shoot on Saturday. It's almost like, okay, I'm gonna set the plan. And if stuff goes wrong, my whole idea is that I'm gonna go towards that plan. Saturday, this shit is happening.
Yeah.
So no matter what happened in between, this shit is happening.
Yeah, on Saturday.
And I feel like it's the same thing with the pandemic. A lot of people are like, how do you start adapting to the pandemic? The first thing I always like to talk about is mentality.
Yeah.
So if you take the mentality of, okay, the pandemic has happened.
Yeah.
Well, what do I do now? Everything's closed down. Everything's messed up. What do I do now? You're not taking that mindset of what you will do. I didn't say I was going to start a business if things was good. I didn't say I was going to start a business if things was bad. I said I'm going to start a business.
Yeah.
I will.
That's what I will do.
I will.
So if pandemic, no matter what demic, I'm starting.
Up market, down market, bull, bear, whatever you investment, forex.
And
whatever.
if you think about who's on top right now, is those people who made that decision well before this situation even occurred. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you think about that, it's like that type of mindset puts you, like, think about it. That type of mindset right there literally has put people ahead of the game. Like, some people financially did not get affected during the pandemic.
Yes.
I need you to understand that. Like, a lot of people, some people really didn't. Yeah. Some people did. That's why at the beginning of this episode I said, it's like it lifted up the skirt of everything. It was like just like wind, a wind blew and you could see who had drawers on or not. It was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's like essentially what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you come up with this shit?
I don't know. You know, cartoon shit. You watch TV and shit, don't you?
Yeah, no, not really.
I know you don't. Look at it.
I was about to be you're right. My bad.
It
doesn't count if it's on the TV.
Bro, why the fuck is cable even still a thing?
Bro, I was just talking about that shit the other day. I was like, I was at my mom's house, right? I went over there and she was like, yeah, you know, you get cable. I said, why?
Cable? What's that?
Who in their right mind? Somebody tell you, oh, look, the show is coming on at 7 o'clock. You think I'm about to break my schedule to sit down and watch some shit at 7? I'm watching that shit on demand. I knew that shit was the end of cable when it happened. I knew it.
Cable's
then,
done.
if you want to watch live, between Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and then you can get all the premium like HBO and Showtime for like $10 a month.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why would I go buy cable?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, shout out to Disney too, because they
hopped on there.
They hopped on everything. Disney's everywhere.
Disney buying up everything. Disney might buy us one day, so be careful.
Hey, I ain't tripping. Come on, Disney.
DJ gonna be right in the meeting. Hey, yeah, we got bought out for $1 billion.
I ain't tripping. Here you go, B.
Yeah. We should take that deal, John. What you? Yeah, look, yeah.
He said, yeah. He said, yeah, no, yeah.
$1 billion?
$1 billion?
Like Joe Rogan got bought out? Oh yeah, you got to take that deal.
Wait, Joe Rogan got bought out? I heard about it.
Spotify. Yeah, it's like $1 billion. It's like $1 billion buyout for him to be exclusively on Spotify, so he ain't gonna be on nothing else.
Shout out Joe Rogan.
And because you know why? Because Spotify, like during the pandemic, hey man, where you got to go? You got to listen to your content this way.
Yeah,
you can't go out and consume.
I don't even want you on other platforms.
Yeah, it's like just be here.
Just be here.
Just be over here with us. So think about the power of that, right? That's something that he was able to leverage, and of course, that's next level. That's the type of stuff we talk about. Why it's important to become an influencer in the influencer.
Exactly, we talked about that.
That's one of the things that I believe is a good point of reference for today's episode too.
Yeah,
it's like. All these people right now that are continuing to make money, a lot of people didn't get affected, but a lot of friends I know who are influencers because actually they start doing better because as people didn't have anywhere to go, anything to do, where'd they go?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Exactly.
These platforms, they're consuming more content. And if you understand anything about advertisers only give a fuck about where your attention is at.
Yeah.
That's it. It ain't no secret.
You know, you heard the saying, pay attention. You got to pay for that attention.
It's really right there, right?
Yeah.
Money flows where attention goes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you look at that, if you're a person who says, okay, I'm not able to get out into the world, one thing you can do is start creating content. You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
I don't know if you even knew this. I think I did tell you this. So I went to Micro Center.
Yeah.
And when you go to Micro Center, this shit is fucking ridiculous. It looks like some Mad Max shit. Like they got checkpoints set up and you got to wear a mask 16 yards. And it's like people all around the building, right?
Got to run sprints back
They got
and
people
forth.
out there in hazmat suits, like spraying you down and shit. I was like, come on, y'all.
Like Monsters, Inc.?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I finally get into the store after about waiting outside 30 minutes because we had to get some equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to the guy in there. He said, yeah, man, it's been crazy in here because it's like they stuff not updating on the website. So if it says it's got something, you might go there and it's not there. He said, yeah, my bad. He said, man, we doing these $500,000 days right now.
Yeah.
I said, damn. And then I thought about it. I said, because everybody's trying to go create more content. They buying all the shit from Micro Center because they got like mics, podcast mics.
You saw that post? It said, what did it say? Fuck. It said, your personal brand is your new job security. It was something like that. It was something of that sort.
Yeah.
Which flows right into the lines of why the hell fucking Micro Center doing $500,000 days. Because basically what they were saying is your personal brand, the brand that you personally build, it doesn't have to be for yourself. It's your personal brand. But I'm saying if you build a brand right now, personal brands for sure right now, right? You are the brand. If you can do that, you get what I'm saying? All you need to honestly do is go get the influencer and how to start a business in 30 days. That's really the two things that you should make sure that you do in order to get these.
And we got
tactics.
something else coming too.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming. You can
dealing with
leverage
credit.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming that you're gonna be able to use. But the only thing that you really need to do is understand that.
I got you, John.
That's all you have to understand is that if you can build your personal brand right now, you are in a gold mine. You just saw what happened to Joe Rogan. That's a direct reflection of a man who built his personal brand. I'm talking about hours and hours of content on YouTube. And you telling me it's gone off of there now since he
I think it starts in September?
Yeah.
Yeah, September. So it's like September, he gonna like, I don't know if I think all the old stuff will still be there, but it ain't no new stuff. So actually, this was crazy. Spotify actually is adding video to their platform just to have his podcast over there. So they had to basically change their entire platform up just for him to come over there.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the biggest podcast, so he commands a lot of like shit. You got to do that for me.
But that's the power in today's world of a personal brand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the personal brand is gonna take you to levels that I don't believe anything can.
Not in the modern economy.
Yeah, of course. Like, and we just speaking in terms of influence. But what I'm saying is like, the personal brand side of things, that is the route that I believe a lot of people should take if you are comfortable with it. If not, create a product in general. Like I had one of my homies, we was building one of a site for one of my friends, and prior to us starting to build the site, he just kept saying like, I need to get up to date with today's world. I need to get up to date with today's world now, because I'm the type of friend, I'm gonna come around you, I'm gonna keep talking to you about how money continues to flow to me and I'm not sitting anywhere. Like I'm not doing nothing in particular. I'm not sitting here at this time, at this day. Like we've created revenue streams that money can flow through, and we're teaching people how to do stuff in between that. And it's futuristic. It's what the world is coming to now. It's like what I saw. Like that's why when I said at the beginning of the episode that all of this it has been a blessing in disguise, because you got to think about this. Anybody who had these strong thoughts prior to the pandemic is in a better position. It's just the reality, right? Yeah. So it's like, I remember 3 to 4 years ago, I seen him working. He was already working like he was producing content like Joe Rogan, all of them. And I remember seeing it. And I remember thinking like, okay, I need to put myself in a position to get in a space where it's like, okay, boom, bam, in the third, right? Not only that, I also saw that eventually, sometime, I don't know, I didn't know when it was gonna happen. I had no idea when this shit was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen. Cause I kept saying it. My soul kept telling me. Even my soul code, it's gonna tell me what to play is. He's gonna tell me everything I need. I fully submitted to it. I'm listening to my gut at this point. But my soul told me, he said, listen, D, content, all of this shit that you see right now.
Listen to this shit.
I'm telling you, this content, fucking apps, websites, all of this, there was going to be a time where you could no longer go I knew that you had to take everything and put it online. Point blank, period.
You used to put it on your story all the time.
I can walk around it all day as much as I want to, try to beat around the bush. The reality is, what you say?
You put it on your. I remember just putting it over and over, like move your business online ASAP.
Hurry
if you can
up.
find a
it was
clip,
almost like my soul was posting that on Instagram. This was before the pandemic because I kept saying, hey, it's time to do it. Like something, I don't know, I felt like something was happening. Something was about to unfold that was about to lift the skirts up of people that wasn't fully, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it really, like at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen.
Exactly.
You need to put your shit online. You need to move your business
online.
online.
What we just started, I don't know what it is. We just, the one push thing, right?
Yeah.
With the hand sanitizer thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's also, and I'll talk about two things because one, before I even get to the next point I was gonna make, I'm saying you just said create a product, right? There's opportunity to do that. I mean, there's even ways to create products where it's not a lot of upfront investment on you. But if you're sitting here, I mean, there's ways to get capital. There's all kind of stuff. And we already said we do a whole episode on money, so it'd just be difficult to condense it. But I guess the first thing I want to say is there's a great book. Here we go. The Millionaire Fast Lane. Now, that may sound like a book that's a little scammy, but it's not actually. It's just a book that's used for marketing to get your attention. And one thing he said is about the personal brand. Okay, let's say you yourself are like, fuck that. I'm not getting in front of a camera. I'm not building any personal brand. Right? Yeah. They say it's only one way to get rich. You got to affect millions of people. So what that means is you either have to be the person who affects millions of people or you got to be next to the person who affects millions of people. One of the two. Prime example is like a sports agent. Mm-hmm. Sports agents is not the actual person who goes out and plays the game like a LeBron James or something like that, but
they still manage.
Exactly. Yeah. If I sell a product to be a millionaire, I have to sell it to, not specifically depending on how big the product is, but just for the sake of argument. Yeah. You got to sell it to millions of people to be a millionaire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you got to affect millions of people or at least be that one step removed, like an agent or somebody who manages. I've been working with the YouTube community very heavy, and I noticed that the managers reaping the same benefits as the talent. So, and you never see them. So it's not that they not leveraging this stuff we talking about. They still are touching millions of people. But they like ideas are. So even if you, for example, got the influencer, right? I know, shameless plug. But if you got the influencer, and you was like, okay, I'm not doing this, but I'm about to develop somebody I know that's trying to get their shit together. They want to be this person. Y'all work together as a team. Y'all start building stuff. Then there's a possibility right there. It's not always about you having to be in front. But what I'm saying is these are different ways to get your mind thinking about how do I do this in the pandemic? You could team up with other people. That's what we've done. Mm-hmm. We mastermind all the time with different people to say, okay, this shit is fucked up. But this person knows something that I don't know. This person has something that I don't have. That's why I always talk about John back there. He back there. I'm telling you, this man's a wizard on finance. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, he knew stuff I didn't know. Yeah. So in a pandemic, it's like, hey, let's bring all this shit together and start doing something. And that's how I feel like you can start evolving in this situation. Yeah. Because the reality of it is, I like that she wrote us. Yeah. And was like, okay, what do I do in this situation? Because that's one thing right there. You seeking knowledge from other minds to figure out how do I navigate this thing? Because the reality is what nobody else say is none of us have experienced no shit like this before. Yeah, that's just the reality. This is the first time in history some shit like this has happened. Exactly. So the thing is, what happens in situations like this, that old saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. To me, when the going gets tough, the survivors get to figuring shit out. Yeah. Like, period. We just get to trying shit. I was riding, I was fucking running around the other day on my Instagram. I just be going hard sometimes. I be feeling it, right? I was telling motherfuckers like, come on, man. Like back in the Gap, it wasn't no fucking grocery store. You couldn't go to the fucking grocery store and pick out your little fine cut meat and salmon and I want 5 pounds. No, motherfucker, it was hunt or die. And not only that, they'll slice it up. Do you want thin slices? You want sandwich slices? Little motherfucker back there behind the counter in the cute ass little bakery hat and shit, cutting up your little slices of meat. Yeah, no. And you mad when they, where's the teller at? Yeah. Where they at? Where's the teller? Listen, it wasn't none of that back in the Gap. And what I'm trying to say is, man, it was hunt or die. It was eat or it was eat or be eaten. Yeah, that's what it was. And of course, my mom always tell me, you don't have to go so hard. You don't have to do. Fuck that too, bro. Fuck that. Because what I'm trying to say is,
Like, although, yeah, we can go get out.
Nobody gonna tell you that shit.
You know what
and
I'm
somebody
saying?
need to tell them that shit.
I'm just saying, yo. It's like, come on, yo. Like, fuck that, yo. Fuck,
Yeah.
yo. Like, it don't matter if we don't have to go that hard. We're gonna
Yeah.
go hard anyway. That's just what has to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you this energy because sometimes I needed to hear something. I had an older cousin who was very motivational at a young age. He used to come over. I'm remembering this as I'm on this podcast, so bear with me. He used to come over, but his energy was different from everybody. He was the one who promoted. He's like, let's go do this. Let's go do this. Like, let's go do this. Half the time it wasn't good, but it was still like, he was still on some.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
it don't matter. Let's just knock some shit out. Like,
Yeah.
let's go out here. Let's go over there. And I took that energy too. And what I'm basically saying, like during the pandemic, that's the type of energy you gotta have. Like, fuck it. Let's get it done. Cause this is the time where you shine. Like, this is the time where your back is against the wall. This is the time.
This is all the people talking about, I'm a hustler. This when you supposed to.
Think about when you thrive out of the pandemic. Cause I'm a professional shit talking motherfucker. Ask my homies about me. I'm the motherfucker who gonna make sure 2-3 years from now that I'm able to talk ample amounts of shit. I'm talking about piles of shit. I want to talk. I'm gonna be the type of motherfucker talk shit to my children, but I
Big
love
face
them though.
honey.
I'm just call my children. I'm be like, yeah, you know, Pops got it. Just get it. You know, just stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I'm being a jokester here on the podcast.
You doing
but what I'm saying is, yo, the energy of the pandemic should have. What's that post, man? I'm quoting post today. It said, if the pandemic didn't bring the hustle out of you, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the most back against the wall situation I know a lot of us have ever been in.
And some people folded.
And some people did fold. But I believe if you watching this podcast up until this point, either you done almost folded, and somehow, some way you done landed on this podcast, and you're gonna go back and you're gonna go listen to all of these that we got here, because I guarantee you,
This ain't nothing new we've been talking about.
this ain't nothing new. This shit ain't nothing new under the sun. We got all of this shit from other people, trust me. And everybody else that you hear that talk that fly shit got all that shit from other people. They just get it and they fucking go.
And take action.
And they fucking go. They get the information
that's where
and
the
they
insights
fucking
come
go.
from.
And that's what it is, huh?
That's what I'm saying. That's where the insights come from.
Yeah, that's
taking
all
action.
it is. Taking action.
Like when people say, I read all the time, so that's getting knowledge from other people. But then too, I take a bunch of fucking action.
Yeah,
So
trial and
if I
error.
fuck up, you can laugh if I fuck up. You ever see me fuck up in the future, you can laugh. But I guarantee the lesson I'm gonna get when I come back, I'm gonna be on people's ass. Like this is what the fuck I know that I know for sure. Like I've sat in meetings like you talked about before with people, and they always say this crazy ass shit to me. I'm like, okay, here's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about, I'm basing this shit off action, right? I've tried this shit doesn't work. When I see somebody who takes action, they tell me some shit, you know what I do? I shut the fuck up. Because I'm like, okay, this person has done it.
Yeah.
This person has done it. This is not a person who speculates, I just feel like it probably, it's like, I done this, bro. Don't do that stupid shit, because that shit's not gonna work.
Yeah,
And the thing is, when I look at it, I think that's what happens with a lot of people. It's like, I give you one of the shortcuts to all the entrepreneurship shit.
Yeah.
The reason motherfuckers be having problems is because they're not taking enough action.
Yeah.
You ask a question, you be like, okay, bam, people give the advice. Okay, D, what should I do? Hey, you should put some content out.
Yeah. And then just a note, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you probably should do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times, I know somebody was just listening to that and they got that overwhelming feeling, because I remember that feeling about like, because I believe it or not, I know a lot of people won't believe me. I at first, when I first started content, I didn't like the way I sounded. I thought, look at him. I'm serious. I know it's hard to believe now, but I'm telling you, I used to overthink the content process too. Like at the very, 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 very beginning, I used to think like, fuck content, content. But then I got to this point to where it was like, really fuck what everybody else talking about anyway, because either you gonna fuck with me or not. And you was gonna do that anyway. Either you was gonna fuck with me or you wasn't gonna fuck with me anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. People be like, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a hustler. That's where it is, right? That's the, like, when you feel that feeling in your chest, like, I don't wanna do that or whatever, you just push through that shit.
And you push that.
Yeah.
And you fight that. It's easy to go.
Another great book. I don't know if I ever talked about this podcast called The War of Art, right?
Yeah.
Or Turning Pro. He's 2 books. I think it was The War of Art and Turning Pro. He talks about the difference between a hobbyist and a professional, right? He said, all of us are trying to create art in this world. So whatever you do, I don't give a damn what it is. I'm not talking about going and painting on a wall necessarily, although that may be your art. But when I build a business or a system, that's an art to me. When I hear this man over here talk about finance, that's art to me. I'm just sitting back like, damn, he doing a beautiful tapestry, right? But we wake up every day. It's days I wake up and I'm sitting in the bed, I'm like, oh man, I don't really feel like it today. And I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do.
But the reality is some days you don't fucking feel like doing it.
Just whatever reason.
All of us get like that.
Whatever reason. My tooth might hurt. It ain't because I'm like, oh, this shit. It's like whatever reason. But when I get up those days, and I don't know if you ever felt this, on the days you don't feel like doing shit and you accomplish it, I feel the best I ever feel. Because I feel like I won that war. I allowed the art to manifest in the world by actually taking the action. And that's what I feel like. People are amateurs, not because of their skill set, because every time they feel that feeling of like, it's a little bit difficult, I got anxiety, they don't fucking say, push through this shit, and then they go to the next level. That's what makes you a pro. That's what makes you a pro. That's what makes that man a pro. That's what makes everybody a pro to me. It ain't because you got this skill set. It's like, I know when hard times hit, you gonna say, I'm allow the art. I'm allow my art to be manifested in this world. And I feel like that's really what it comes down to. When it comes to coming through in the pandemic, this what you just said, bro. You said is beautiful. Which is 2 or 3 years from now. Because I'm assuming this shit gonna eventually be over, right? 2 or 3 years and now shit's over. All the people who was taking action and they got wealthy in the pandemic, they gonna be looking like, I did that shit. I came out of that shit. Why it's gonna be people who was, man, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Shit, what else you gonna do?
Exactly.
The thing is, I want to be one of those people who looks back and says, I took action during that shit.
I fucking turned up during the pandemic. I want to be able to tell my family members. I want my whole family line after me to explain to their friends why their life is different. Because of some shit that they great super great ass grandfather did during the pandemic. That's the shit I'm on.
One of them black and white or like Stephanie tone pictures up there like this.
I want to.
Who's that? That's your great uncle Prinston Hicks.
He
went to the pandemic and staked the claim.
And staked the claim. And then underneath the John, we're gonna put pandemic on the statue.
You know how they have like eras or whatever, right? They be like, when was this? This was the great pandemic of 2020.
That's what I'm saying, man. Steak, put a fucking fork in it. Put me up a statue. I'm on some. And what I want you to understand, this is what you need to do. This ain't got shit to do with this episode. Hold on, real quick. This ain't got shit. At a certain point in your life, you got to consume content, not for if you're gonna get the knowledge, but you need to really be accepting this energy that you're getting on this camera. This is the energy that you should feel when you're working on shit, when you're working with people. This is the type of feeling you should have. Remember that before the field trip feeling?
Oh yeah.
Remember before the field trip feeling? You couldn't wait. Couldn't
sleep.
That's the type of feeling you should. Your soul is yearning for. It's probably why you're feeling good right now. And what I'm saying is the people at the top, it has nothing to do with the little technical shit, the shit that's going on, this, that, and the third. That shit don't mean nothing. It's this feeling right here. Because if you can capture this feeling,
you're gonna figure that other shit out.
You're gonna figure that other shit out. And that's the key to it. And when I say pandemic, just let's trade that word for just blessing, like this just has been nothing but a blessing. And like, if it hasn't been nothing but a blessing for you, I want to challenge you to just start thinking about where you are now and where you were at least 2 to 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and things of that nature, like with your business, with your goals, with your mindset, everything.
What has focused your mind on? It has shown you a part of your life that is something that is for all of us a weakness that we could potentially have.
Yes,
right?
I found a weakness in my game.
It helps us survive better in the future. I guarantee some shit like this come again, you're going to be like, I already know what to do. I already know what the fuck to do.
And so many people, because we done built so many people's websites and apps. So this happened again in the future, boy, it's going to be real.
It may sound funny. I just think this is our generation's tragedy. Like, older generations had like World War I and World War II, and they had like the Great Depression and shit like that. I don't think it's on that scale necessarily, but I'm saying it's just something where we looking back, like we'll tell our kids, I survived that 2020 shit. Like, I came through that shit. And I think that's really what it comes down to. So let me say that. Another thing I want to talk about is during the pandemic, another way to adapt is looking for a need. So I was going to talk about the hand sanitizer thing, whatever, right? Or just people needing financing and stuff like that. There's all these avenues that are happening because people are struggling that you have the opportunity to come in and fulfill a need. Greater than ever. The reason so many people get rich during pandemics and stuff like that is not one just because, you know, like I could talk about like people manipulating markets and stuff as far as like maybe stocks or something. Because I got friends who trade right now and they making a killing. They're making a killing. Like if you know that shit, right?
Yeah.
But also, it establishes a whole new set of needs. A whole new set of needs because you got all these people who are going through all these tragedies and they're looking for potential ways to feel comfortable. Like maybe, like for example, a good friend of ours, Sierra.
Yeah.
They created REMY, the hand sanitizer, right? It's like some nice scented hand sanitizer, really nice stuff. And the thing is, they did that during the pandemic and they started doing really well with that. But the thing is, they saw a need, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you could just get some hand sanitizer, but they said, let's take it a little bit further and let's add like some fragrance and stuff like that, right? Another big thing is the one pushes. The one pushes, which is basically when a person walks in, you take one push, it's got the hand sanitizer. You can put whatever you want in there, right? This is the type of stuff that goes out to like when they build a new apartment complex, because this is the normal right now, they're gonna be like, hey, put this shit in all of our little units,
Airbnbs,
right? We saw this as a need, boom, filled that need. The whole thing as an entrepreneur, what I feel like you have to get into the mindset of is you are a problem solver. That is your job. Even with the content is about helping people solve problems. So just like you said, you getting this good energy, you soaking up this good energy. What's really happening is we're helping you solve the problem. You know what the problem is? Confidence, fear. We're trying to tell you, take that leap. Go ahead and do it. Do it. Fuck it. Get out there. Because
that's what and not to cut you off. That's what my cousin helped me with. That was his favorite. Fuck it. That's what I'm saying. What's like at the end of the day, what's up?
That's what I'm saying.
Because what it boils down to is like, man, we had long conversations about this, and I don't want to go too far off the drift because I know we're gonna hit y'all with it in a few. But we used to talk about this though, like fucking like when you fuck with yourself, you know what I'm saying? And when you don't have self-confidence, you don't fuck with yourself, you don't value yourself, you don't really, you gotta talk to yourself in the mirror, you gotta pump yourself up, even on them down days. You don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It'll get to the point to where your self-confidence, it'll just tank. You know what I'm saying? And it'll bleed over until everything. You get what I'm going? And it's just one of them situations where it's like if you don't gather that, if you don't really take control of that, like you can really spiral down.
It's gonna mess up the rest of your life,
and it's gonna mess up a lot of stuff.
I mean, I've seen people who are not that talented. I've seen it so many times at this point that it's one of the things that kick me into gear. Like you'll walk in the room with somebody who is not as smart as you. I'm telling you, if you're a really smart, logical person, you walk in the room constantly with people who are not as smart as you, but for some reason, they're more successful. And it'll always be a puzzle to you. And the thing that most people do, and I hope you're not this person, is you feel like they cheated, they lied, or they fucked somebody over. And I'm telling you that's not the case. What they understood was that energy is so powerful. We talked about this just recently on I think the first episode of this season. We were just talking about like you want to do everything with the energetic friends, right? And if you have that good energy, I want you to think about it like this. I was telling somebody about the way all marketing works. I had a client, so we were developing a website and she's thinking about doing an app, right? So I'm talking to her and I was like, look, how can you date somebody if they're not aware of you? I said, it's impossible. If a person's not aware of you, you gotta get awareness first. How you get awareness? You gotta do something to attract that person, right? So what I'm saying is, when it comes to the idea of attracting people, if I attract 10,000 people to what I'm doing, even if most of those people fall off, don't I have a better opportunity to actually bring more people into what I'm doing? And I think that's the biggest thing with people with energy. It's not that they have the best idea, but if you got the best idea and you talk to 5 people, you have 5 chances for your idea to get picked up or people to fuck with it. However, if you're somebody who attracts hundreds of thousands of people, look at how many more opportunities. You could mess up 5. You wouldn't even trip. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I got
100,000 more opportunities, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's the biggest thing as far as when we talk about putting out this energy. And that's the biggest thing I'm talking about when it comes to adapting and putting out ideas. The needs that we look to fill are one that I know is huge, which is self-confidence, not having people to tell you this shit can be done. And as we go through it, we get better. I mean, we still got more that we gonna do. But what I'm saying is, as we go through the journey, you get to go watch From Mama's House to Penthouse season 1 and be like, damn, they was talking about this shit then. And then you see it manifesting in our lives now. So the same thing when it comes down to when you think about establishing needs for people. People are always looking to solve a problem. If you landed on this podcast and you clicked on the title, it was because you had something, a need that you wanted solved. Like, I want to hear their perspective on this. Or I want to feel, I'm feeling this way, and hopefully this will answer my question.
Yeah.
And if we do that enough times, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I fuck with them. I might do some business with them. It's the same thing when it comes to a product. All the product is something that establishes a need. When Lyft, Uber, all those mega companies came out, they saw, man, it's a need that everybody has. And because, like I said earlier, they affected millions and billions of people, $1 billion company.
Yep.
The millionaire math is not difficult. It's like, you affect 1 million people, you will be a millionaire. That's the one guarantee. If you can affect 1 million people, you will be a millionaire.
Yeah, for sure. But the key is you don't have to affect 1 million people to be a millionaire.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is,
because I don't want nobody to get discouraged, because I used to think that.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, you do,
yeah.
But it's not, you don't have to do it directly.
Exactly.
You don't have to be the exact person that's on television. You could be next to that person or whatever, right? Because some people do want to be the background person. They don't want to get in front of the camera. Fine. What I'm saying is, the person who makes Avengers, right? $1 billion franchise. The person who films that, the cameraman.
Yeah.
The cameramen, I know there's a bunch of them on them productions, right? I don't know if they're millionaires, right? But what I'm saying is, they're doing something that affects a lot of fucking people. Yeah. But if you're getting on them type of shit, you might be.
Yeah,
a motherfucker on Avengers might be a millionaire just by holding the camera. I don't know.
Might be the mic boy.
Exactly. Directors. A lot of people don't know directors. I mean, if you're a film person, you might know, oh, I know Quentin Tarantino or something, right? What I'm saying, you definitely don't know directors as well as you know, like a Denzel Washington, a Leonardo DiCaprio, a Jamie Foxx, right? Those people have agents who are millionaires because their client has affected millions of people. And what did that person do? Solve a need for them. This whole world is an economy of need. This person needs something, you solve needs. If you're the person who solves a lot of people's needs, you're gonna be a person who makes a lot of money. So what I'm saying is, you don't gotta get discouraged, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, you do have to start, like, you don't even necessarily have to be a millionaire. What I mean by that is, if you was making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month on a business, right? Profit, you'd be doing good. And eventually you'd be a millionaire because that shit'll stack up. But what I'm saying is, you can affect people and live a good life just by establishing what people need and solving those needs. And I think that's the biggest thing that when it comes to adapting in this pandemic that people are not looking at. You have you and the opportunity to either grow your brand or the opportunity to go out there and solve a need. And the thing is, if you're not so internally focused on, okay, what's going on with me, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with me, then you have the ability to pick your head up, look out and start seeing, okay, what do people need? That's how you start crawling your way out of situations like this, because it's like, okay, I know people need this. So now I'm about to go create something to fill that need. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily even have to be a product. I seen somebody's content blowing up because you know what they were doing? Showing people how to apply for loans. Showing people how to get all the financing options that was available during the pandemic. But now the thing is, that person's content blew up and now people are watching other videos that they're doing. Just regular videos that they're doing. But they leveraged the pandemic. They said, oh, people need to know about this information. They leveraged that. Now that shit is blowing up. So now they have all this attention, which they can then, like we talked about earlier, pay attention. All kind of stuff, brand deals, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So my thing is, there's always opportunities, but the question is, are you gonna pick your head up and say, hey, Dan, what opportunities are out there for me to do something? I think that's a huge thing.
And that's just, that just goes to the overkill portion of just following through with it, making sure that you fucking lock it in. Cause it's like, during the pandemic, it's no better time to get shit like that done. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect timing for it.
Yeah.
Period.
Especially that time when people sit in the house for like when you really, because some people are still on quarantine. It's bad some places. Yeah. Still, right? And then all this other shit start breaking out. But like I'm saying, I look at it like some people I feel like live as if this shit is gonna last forever. And not just during the pandemic, but just in any situation, right? Like, it's almost like when people cashing in on something. The reason they tell you to cash in quickly is because it's not gonna last forever. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like coming out of this situation, you want to set yourself up to say, what is it going to be like if things are prosperous? Because I tell people if it doesn't get prosperous, well, the other side is post-apocalyptic world. We living in some end of days shit where it's like, none of this shit matters anyway. But what I would do is prepare for when the shit does come back. Mm-hmm. What am I going to have in place? A lot of people like, man, I want to quit my job. I get messages every day about people, I'm about to call this shit quits. I'm about to call this shit quit. I'm tired of my boss. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this shit or whatever, right? And it's like, okay, even if you didn't do that bad in the pandemic, there's other reasons. There's other things to prepare. I've had friends who've lost their jobs because they just didn't have enough space for them during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. That doesn't just apply to the pandemic. A while back, Halliburton had to lay some people off. Some of my friends lost their job. Mm-hmm. That doesn't just apply to the pandemic. There's always going to be situations where the world is changing and it could affect you if you don't become the type of person who can go out there in the world and make shit happen.
Yep,
you know
gotta adapt. Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, adapt. Pandemic, adapt. Any other thing in this world go on, adapt. One of the best ways to adapt during the pandemic, online sales. Yep. Moving your business online. I told people on Instagram, on Facebook, Snapchat, hurry up and move your business online ASAP. My brother Ben X on IG, he talks about digital real estate, having some type of land online that people can land on and pay you some money for.
Yeah.
Period is probably as simple as it can get.
And the ROI is huge.
Yes, get you some digital real estate. It's fairly cheaper than regular real estate. You know what I'm saying? Because the bills on it, you don't really have to pay taxes on your digital real estate. Well, yeah, you do. Property taxes. You don't really have to do too much of anything except pay your hosting fees and things of that nature. So get you some digital real estate. If you don't know where to get you some digital real estate, hit us up. Figure it out.
They on here.
You need to. Everything needs to move online ASAP. That's the moral of my story.
So I guess with that being said, you want to get your final thoughts from the Penthouse?
I mean, I guess, man, like I said, man, honestly, to Keisha, to everybody else that's listening, during the pandemic, I process it as a blessing in disguise, and I'm just extremely grateful to even be alive. So, like, as far as the pandemic, I just kind of told you a few seconds ago, yo, move it online. Hurry up and get a way for people to pay you online. It's just the best way to put it. Get you a business, set you up something, get you a website, get you something, sell some makeup products, do whatever you gotta do. Okay, think outside the box too. I encourage you to do that. I'm not just telling you go do what everybody else is doing, but I'm trying to drive the point home that you just need to hop on the train because the train will leave you, okay?
People ran up with spiritual coaching.
You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. Those are my final thoughts from the Penthouse. What's yours?
My final thoughts from the Penthouse is life is adapting, right? I heard this book a long time ago. They were talking about businesses, and I've said this on here before, but I'm gonna say it again because I think it applies. Is business as organisms. And it's like, when an organism starts off, it's very weak and you can kill it easy. But as it adapts, it gets strong, right? I look at every situation that we go through that has given us a hardship as it's adapting us to be this stronger structure. Mm-hmm. I think that's what we all gotta do. Whether it's the pandemic, whether it's some other tragedy that comes along, you gotta ask yourself, are you gonna be the flimsy structure that always is like being at the mercy of everything that happens? Or are you gonna be the type of structure that's like, once shit happens, I'm gonna start going and I'm gonna become stronger because of each hardship I go through. It's just an opportunity for me to grow as a person. So that's my thing. Like you said, moral story is just adapt. And if your ass adapt, I guarantee you, years from now, while everybody else is falling apart when shit goes wrong, you just gonna be like, hey, it's just another day at the office.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be fully equipped and ready to fight.
Yeah. So with that being said, you wanna talk about what we got for them?
Yeah, man, you already know what time it is. If you've been listening to Mama's House of Penthouse, this is the part where we get to spelling our Instagram names, and hopefully I don't misspell mine this time. How the fuck you misspell your own Instagram name?
I probably still got that footage. Still got that footage.
Right, he plays it. All right, Country Cowboy at all social media, on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? CountryCowboy.com, go check that out. Also, 2Ys, make sure 2Ys at the end of that. Like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, my YouTube channel, it is popping. It's getting up there.
Get on that thing.
Get on that thing. At the current time of recording this video right here, I only have about like 700 subscribers. So if you're watching this right now, run over to my YouTube, Cowboys Ranch, okay? And subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I want to get to 1K. That's my goal, okay? At least 1K by the end of this week.
This shit gonna look ridiculous in the future when that shit at like 1 million.
Exactly.
Like,
so by the time, at the time of this recording, I'm only at about 700. So go run me up over there to at least 1K. Then we just gonna jump to the 1 million mark and we're gonna call it a day. Also, countrycowboy.com, you can go to that website. I have every single thing that you need there. The most important thing that I wanna push is the influencer. The influencer is my digital course that teaches you how to become an influencer and grow your following faster than anybody and any person that ever could if you just take these principles and listen to them and implement them fast, okay? Yeah. And not fast in a rush, but just make sure that you really take this information in and implement them, okay?
Get it in you.
Because once you implement all 17 of these principles, you will see growth on all social media platforms. And the most important part about all of this is it's cheaper than a pair of pants. Yeah. It's still $17 bucks.
Look, it's not gonna be like that forever.
That's what I'm saying. So you should definitely run over there to go get that. Like I said.
Then you looking like, D, you can't show me no love. I did
for a very long time. So if you listen to this, go grab it, okay? You can go to countrycowboy.com or canibefamous.com, okay? Both of those domains will take you there. Make sure that you run and go grab that right now. Only if, don't go grab it if you're not a person that wants to grow your social media and grow your personal brand and things of that nature. Don't do it if you don't want to do it.
I mean, it is a way you can make some money in the pandemic.
We just went over how Joe Rogan just did a B on some influencer shit, okay? So I need you to go really, only if you want to.
That's all I'm saying.
Only if you want to. I'm not gonna pressure you, just throwing it out there.
Or you cannot.
It's available.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool.
Pair of pants.
Pair of pants.
That being said, first of all, I want to give a shout out to John, Cutting Clarity. You got anything else we want to put on there, John? Anything else you want to put on the screen? Nah? He acting shy, y'all. That will happen when you got a lot of money. But anyway, with that being said, Prinston Hicks on everything, every platform. My YouTube is coming back to the Massive Action Movement Show, where I go talk about everything about entrepreneurship and how you can become successful and create a future where you're in control. Of course, the Action Takers podcast. I'm interviewing entrepreneurs from all over, so you can learn their mindset and the ideas that got them to their success. You can check that out. It actually drops every Tuesday at 7 on all platforms, streaming on all platforms. Also, subscribe to this channel on all platforms. And we also, if you're listening to this, we're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, if you're watching this, we're on all platforms. So go subscribe to us everywhere. You know, it helps us grow. It helps get the message out to more people. And of course, if you're sitting there and you're like, man, what do I do in the pandemic? How to start a business in 30 days. I released this course, and right now, because during the pandemic, it's one of the big things we wanted to do, it's cheaper than a pair of pants. Also, it's also cheaper than a pair of pants. This is everything you want to know about starting a business. This is the fundamentals. This is literally what we use to grow our businesses. Yep. When we sit down and do a business, all we do is break out the How to Start a Business in 30-Day booklet and say, all right, this is how the company vision, and this, how you structure the meetings, this is how you go through it, this is how you market the business, how you tell your brand story. It's all there, and it has a workbook that goes with it to walk you through the entire process. And guess what? It's 50 plus videos. 50. This is
HD videos.
50 HD videos that teach you step by step, like, this is what you do here, this is what you do. It just holds your hand, takes your hand like this and says, you want to start a business?
That's how you do it in 30 days.
And this is what I'm saying. It's the business program I wish I had when I started. I just had to go read 6 trillion books. And I know a lot of people ain't trying to read that many damn books.
Hell no. I'd rather you go buy a course.
And then it tell you exactly
what I should do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would think.
Seems more logical.
And like I said, once again, you don't have to, but I recommend you do it because, like I say, I want you to create a future where you're in control. And if this has been some shit you've been struggling with, or you just don't know where to get started, anything like that, go check it out. And I also have personal coaching calls you can hop on with me where I actually help you personally. I'll run you through the whole thing personally, help you get your business started. We've been getting a lot of people on these coaching calls. People have been loving them. People have been raving about them. It's like the fastest way to grow, simply because instead of like trying to figure it out, I'm just gonna tell you, turn that button, do that, hit that switch. And it's all the experience that we've grown to help us go from, as the show suggests, Mama's House to Penthouse.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Adapt in the pandemic. Any last word?
Get an app, get a website. If you don't know where to get it from, hit your wallet.
We are.
I open my eyes, I see see them snakes in the sky, saying that they down the ride. Really, they down for the ride. Really, they down for a piece of my pie. Look in my eyes, you can see that I'm tired. Look at my ties, you can see I got drive. All these emotions, I put them aside. All this potential, I bring it to life. I look them dead in the eyes. Cause I really want it, and I'm really working, and I'm really stressing out because I'm nervous. Cause everybody wanna